Dear students, in this session we are going to see the operators and conditional statements in JavaScript. Let us start this session with operators in JavaScript. The different operators that are available in JavaScript are arithmetic operators, post or pre-increment as well as decrement operators, comparison operators. Now we can see what are the arithmetic operators that are available in JavaScript. Plus operator, which is used for doing addition operation. Minus operator, which is used for subtraction operation. Star, it's used for doing multiplication. Slash, which is used for doing division. Then mode operation, which is used to find out the mode length. In JavaScript, we are having pre as well as post increment operators. For example, plus plus x, it's a pre-increment operator. X plus plus, it's a post-increment operator. Likewise, pre, post, decrement operators are there. Minus minus x as well as x minus minus. These type of operators are available in JavaScript. Then comparison operators, equal to, then not equal to, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to. So in case of comparison operators, equal to is checking the characters, checking the value whether they are equal or not. If they are equal, it will produce a true value. Not equal to, it's used for checking whether one value is not equal to some other value. Then greater than or equal to, less than or equal to operators are there. Then comes equal to operator, triple equal to, which indicates in triple equal to what they have to do is they check the value of the corresponding operands as well as their data type. If value as well as data type are same, then only it produces a true value. Any mismatch is found in any of the cases like type, data type or value, it will produce a false value. Likewise, not equal to. Strictly equals and not strictly not equals. These are the basic operators that are available in JavaScript. See here we are having an example with respecting to equal to comparison and equal to comparison. Now we are having a look at the first expression. Variable v1 is equal to 5 in double quotes equal to 5. Equal to comparison operator is present here. Here what we have to check? We have to check 5 in double quotes with 5 in without double quotes. 5 in double quotes is one side and other side is 5. So here equal to checks the character or value in it. So here both the characters are 5. So it produces a true value. Type conversion is performed this particular comparison. Then comes the corresponding second expression. Variable v2 is equal to in double quotes 5 equal to 5. So here what happens is triple equal to is used for checking the value as well as the data type of the corresponding operands. So here what happens is it checks the value 5 and 5. So it's okay. Then it checks the data type. One is enclosed in double quotes and other is without double quotes. So one is treated as string and other is treated as number. So it produces a false value. Now move on to the third expression. Variable v3 is equal to 5 triple equal to 5.0. 5 triple equal to 5.0. Triple equal to, if you are using triple equal to comparison operator, it will check the value as well as the corresponding data type. If you are looking at the operand, one is 5 and another is 5.0. So both are comes under the number data type. Actually, 5 and 5 are integer numbers as well as floating numbers. But the thing is that it should be treated as a number data type. Both things should be treated as a number data type and it produces a true value. Now comes the fourth expression. Variable v4 is equal to true equal to 1. We know that as per Boolean logic, true is always considered as one value and false is considered as zero value. So here what happens is we are using equal to comparison between true and 1. So true is always considered as one value, as value 1, and 1 is equal to 1, the same idea. So here this equal to produces a true value because true is treated as 1. Now comes the fifth expression, variable v5 is equal to true equal to 2. So here what happens is one operand is true and another operand is 2. So true is always treated as 1. So the expression becomes 1 is equal to 2. 1 is equal to 2. So the comparison is false. So the fifth expression is a false value. And now comes the last expression. Variable v6 is equal to true equal to, in double quotes it is enclosed as 1. So again here double equal to comparison operator is there. So what happens here, it is true is considered as one value and on the right hand side also it is one value, but one is a string in the right hand side, but both values are same. So the sixth expression produces a true value because one is equal to 1, that should be considered. Hope you understood the difference between equal to as well as equal to operator. Now we can see the different types of logical operators that are available in JavaScript. We are mainly having three logical operators. Logical NOT, which is defined by the, or which is expressed by the symbol exclamatory. Then it is used for, logical NOT is used for negating a value. If suppose x is equal to 5, not of x. Not of x means that x is not having, at present x is not having the value 5 and x can take any other values other than 5. Then double ampersand. Double ampersand stands for logical AND. For a logical NOT operator, we need only one operand. A single operand is considered for logical NOT and it is termed as a unary operator. In case of logical AND, we need two operands, at least two operands, and the general syntax is like this: op1, that is operand 1, ampersand operand 2. Operand 1 logically and 2 operand 2. So here what happens in the evaluation is, if operand 1 is true, expression evaluates to the value of operand 2. If first operand is having a true value, what we have to check is, we have to check the value of operand 2. So if operand 2 is also true, the expression produces a true value. Otherwise, the expression evaluates to operand 1. If operand 1 itself is false, then the resultant is also a false value. So the basic idea behind AND operation in digital. If we are having the values like 0 and 1, the output is 0. 1 and 0, the output is 0. 1 1, the output is 1. 0 0, the output is 0. Logical AND operation. So the logical AND will produces a true value whenever both the operands are true. The same idea is implemented here. So if operand 1 is true, the expression evaluates the value of operand 2. That is, resultant depends upon the value of operand 2. If operand 1 is true and operand 2 is true, result is true. If operand 1 is true and operand 2 is false, result is false. If operand 1 is false, the result is also false. Results are not expressed in Boolean terms. And the third type of logical operator is logical OR. The expression looks like operand 1 logically OR to operand 2, and this basic idea behind logical OR is same as that of digital OR operation. If any of the operand is having a true value, the resultant is having a true value. The resultant is always true. If both are false, then the resultant will be false. If operand 1 is true, expression evaluates to the value of operand 1. Otherwise, the expression evaluates to the value of operand 2. If operand 1 is true and operand 2 is true, the output is true. If operand 1 is true, operand 2 is false, output is true. If operand 1 is false and operand 2 is true, then result is true. If operand 1 is false and operand 2 is false, result is false. Now we are having some examples which are related to logical operator. The first expression, variable temp1 is equal to null logically and to 1000. Null is having null value and null is logically AND to 1000. So what happens here, it is null and 1000 are AND. One is a false value, null is treated as a false value, and another, the 1000 is treated as a true value. So here what happens is false and true. False and true produces false value. So temp1 is having null value. Variable temp2 is equal to 1000 and logically and 500. So both are having true values. 1000 is a true value and 500 is a true value, and the output will always having a true value. Here the lowest value that will be in operand is 500, so 500 is assigned to temp2. Then the variable temp3, third expression, variable temp3 is equal to false or 500. False or 500. False or logically or 500. Or operation, one side is false and other side is true. 500 is a true value. So temp3 is taking the value 500. Now we can see the fourth expression. Variable temp4 is equal to empty string logically or to null. Empty string, it is treated as a false value, and null is also treated as a false value. So what happens here, it is temp4 is also having a false value. At present it will be treated as a null because null is the data type which specifies nothing. Then next expression, variable temp5 is equal to 1000 or false. We know that one is true and another is false, and it is logically OR. So what happens here, it is the true value will be assigned. So temp5 is having 1000. Then the last expression, foo is equal to foo or 100. Foo is equal to foo or 100. So if foo is null, undefined, false, zero, or not a number or an empty string, then foo is set to 100. Otherwise, if foo is having a value, it will compare the corresponding values and produces the value which is greater. We are continuing with the operators. Now we can see the string concatenation operator. Like other programming languages, in JavaScript also the string concatenation operator is denoted by the plus symbol. So plus is an operator which is used for string concatenation. That is, plus is used for appending a new string or a character to an existing string. If one operand is string, the other operand is automatically converted to its equivalent string value. So if x is a string value plus y is if y is having an integer value, but x plus y is there, both this value in the x plus y term should be converted to a string value. Then comes the assignment operators. Assignment operators that are available in JavaScript are equal to, that is simple assignment, plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, slash equal to, more equal to. These are shorthand operators. Plus is equal, plus equal to, x plus equal to 5. X plus equal to 5 means x is equal to x plus 5. X minus equal to 5, which indicates that x is equal to x minus 5. X star equal to 5, which indicates that x is equal to x star 5. Likewise, these are shorthand expression for assignment. Then bitwise operators are there. Bitwise AND is there, bitwise OR is there, bitwise operations like left shift, right shift. This the difference between logical and as well as this bitwise operators are logical operators between with this corresponding bitwise operators are in bitwise operators. If you are using bitwise operators, the operations, the AND operation as well as NOT operation, or in case of or operation or shift operations, all these things are done bitwise. So if a number is there, that number will be converted to its bit format and then the corresponding operation will be happened. That is bitwise operators. Now we can see the conditional statements that are available in JavaScript. Like other programming languages, C and Java, all the conditional statements in C and Java are available in JavaScript. If simple if statement is there, if a condition is there, then a particular expression. If the condition is true, then the corresponding expression will be executed. Then if else statement. If a condition is there, if the condition is true, then part will be executed. Otherwise, else part will be executed. Then ternary conditional statement, question mark equal to ternary operator, for example, x greater than y, question mark. Then after that, print x is greater, colon, print y is greater. So what happens here it is, if x greater than y, that is the expression that to be evaluated. If that expression is true, it will execute the statement in between the question mark and colon. If the expression is true, it will execute the statement in between this question mark and colon. Then otherwise, if the condition before the question mark is false, it will execute the statement after the colon symbol. That is the idea of ternary conditional statement. Then the switch statement. Switch, you know what is the syntax of switch. Switch is another conditional statement with where we are having different case values. So all the syntaxes, all these statement syntaxes are similar as that of these particular statements in C and Java. Now we can see the different looping statements that are available in JavaScript. For loops. So what is the speciality? For loop is a entry control loop. We know what is the syntax of for loop. The syntax for almost all the loops are same as that of C and Java. We are having for, then we have to place the corresponding conditions or initial values in the parenthesis. First, we have to specify what should be the initial value of iterating variable. Then put a semicolon. Then after that, we have to specify what is the condition that to be checked. Then after that, the third thing inside the parenthesis is we have to specify the iteration level. At what step the iteration should be happen. Then a block for loop will be placed. Then comes the foreign loops. Foreign loops we will see later. While loop. While loop is an entry control loop. While a condition is there, if the condition is true, it control enters to the body of the corresponding while loop. Then comes the do while. Do while loop is actually an exit control loop. So firstly, the do while block will be executed. At the time of exiting from the corresponding loop, its condition is checked. If the condition is satisfied, it again move back to the iteration. That is do while. So for loop as well as while loops are entry control loops, whereas in case of do while, it's an exit control loop. Then break statement. Break statement means if we want to move out from a loop, we can use this break. Continue. Continue statement inside a loop gives idea that we have to go for the next iteration. All except foreign loop statements have the same syntax as those found in C and Java. Now we can see the syntax of foreign loop. The syntax is like this. For you have to place a parenthesis variable var variable in object. Then a block is there which contains some statements. This is used to iterate through all the properties that are defined in object. So this foreign loop is normally used with object values. Objects like arrays, then class. I already told you that object is having fields as well as functions are there. For iterating through the corresponding object, we can use this for loop. Variable takes the name of each property in object. Can be used to iterate all the elements in an array object. If you are creating an associative array or if you are having an associative array with you, then this type of foreign loop is best for iterating or traversing through the corresponding loop. Here we are having an example. You can just have a look at the example. Here a HTML document is there. The body part, a header tag H2 is there, which contains a heading JavaScript loops. Then comes a paragraph. The foreign statement loops through the properties of an object. And the corresponding paragraph is closed. Then after that, p id equal to demo p. Paragraph is closed. Another, which is an example for ID style sheet or ID style sheet application. Then comes a script tag. So whatever things are at present inside the pages, JavaScript loops heading, then a paragraph with the explanation. The foreign statement loops through the properties of an object. Then after that, the script will be there. So inside the script, variable a is equal to square bracket of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means that here an array is a is an array. A is an array which contains 5 values. The values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know that array index starts from 0th position. So for this particular array A, if the index value ranges from 0 to 4. Since we are having 5 elements, the index position ranges from 0 to 4. Now we move on to the loop. For variable x in A, for variable x in A, document.write of x. So what happens here it is, for each element in the array A, we have to mention x value. Here x stands for the corresponding index, variable x in A, which gives that x is the first index value. And it is specified that document.write of x, simply specifying document.write of x. So what happens here it is, at present x takes the index value 0. So that 0 will be printed. After that x takes the value 1. So 1 will be printed. Then 2, 3, 4. By 4, by fourth value what happens? The array will end because the index ranges from 0 to 4. So the output for this particular script is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And after that script is closed, body is closed and HTML is closed. So if we are doing as normal array with normal numeric array with foreign loop, the array indices will be printed. The array indices will be printed. Now we have a question that how we can produce the corresponding value using this foreign loop. For that we are having another example with us. We just look at the corresponding example. In this example, we can see that variable keys is equal to empty string, values is equal to empty string. So the first statement in this particular example says that there are two variables, keys and values. Both these variables are having empty string initially. So they are undefined data types. Then after that, the second expression, variable mylist is equal to new array of Chinese, English, Jack. So what happens here in the second statement is an array is created. The name of the array is mylist, and this mylist array is of having size 3, which is initialized with values English, Chinese, English and Japan. Then after that, mylist.new field 1 is equal to something. In the previous statement, the array is created with values Chinese, English and Java. At the same time, for that particular array, the array indexes values are, we are having 3 values in the array. So array index range from 0 to 2. 0 to n minus 1. So 0 to 3 minus 1, that is 2. Then after that, the third expression, mylist.new field 1 is equal to something. Mylist is actually an array. Dot new field 1 means we are adding one more index to the corresponding array, and the index value here it is instead of 4, the next array item that should be added. We are having already 3 index positions, 0, 1, 2, and the fourth position for normal arrays, or in normal cases we have to add the next element to the array, means the index will be 4. But we have to change the index from 4 to a key value, and that key value is here, mentioned here as new field 1. Mylist.new field 1 is equal to something. So what happens to the mylist array is, mylist array, the size of mylist array is now converted to 4, and the index values of this mylist array are 0, 1, 2. Instead of 4, they are using new field 1 key as the fourth index. Instead of the value 4, they are using new field 1 as the index value. And the data values that are present in these indices are Chinese, English, Jap and simple. Now we can see there is a for loop for variable key in mylist. So what we are doing is we have to iterate through the indices of the mylist array. So for variable key in mylist, keys plus equal to key. Initially key is having null string. So at the first index, it will be 0 plus space. There will be a space, it is not a null string. So key plus a space is there. So 0 plus a space is there. At present, keys is having value 0 plus a space is there. Then values plus equal to my list of key. My list of key means my list of 0. My list of 0 is having the value Chinese. Then document.write of BI. A line break is there. Then after that, document.write keys plus keys. Keys in the code In addition to keys, the corresponding key value should be printed. So keys initially at present single iteration is happened. So key is having the value 0. Then after that document dot write of the a break is there, line break is there. Then after that document dot write of values. At present values is having Chinese. So the first two lines will be printed in the output keys 0 Chinese. Then comes the second iteration. Second iteration, the key will be moved to index position 1. So what happens here? Here it is keys plus is plus equal to key plus. So here plus equal to is given. Plus equal to is a shorthand operator for. So this expression will become keys is equal to keys plus key. So already 0 is in the key. So 0 plus 0 which will be appended with new key value. So 0 space is already there. In addition to the space, the next key will be produced. So 0 space 1. That will be the current value in keys. Then after that values plus is equal to my list of key. So here my list of 1. Already my list values is having the value, values is holding Chinese space, then the new my list key. The first index position value we are having the value English. So after that the printing the statements for printing keys. So it will be printed as keys 0, 1. Then after that printing values. So Chinese, English. Likewise, the next iteration should be happened. In the next iteration, key will take the value 3. So it will become, keys will become 0, 1, 2. Sorry, instead of key value, we are having the key as 2. So it will become keys 0, 1, 2. Values is Chinese, space, English, space, Jap, space. Then after that, what happens is it will again move to the next iteration. So third iteration is over. In the fourth iteration, key in my list, for variable key in my list, in the fourth index position, we are having a text value as the index value, that is something. So what happens here it is, not instead of something, we are having the key values new field 1. So what happens here it is, keys is holding the value 0, 1, 2, new field 1. Then comes the values. Now we can see what all are the values. Values plus equal to my list of key plus space. So here values is currently having data, Chinese, space, English, space, Jap, space, something. Then after that, the loop will be exited because we are having only 4 iterations because of the array length. Array length is shortened to 4 and we are having the index values like 0, 1, 2 and the last index is a key value that is termed as new field 1. Hope you understood this example. Now move on to the next example. Inside that this particular example, this is the demonstration of for loop with object. So move on to the statements. The first statement is variable obj is equal to new object. Here obj is a variable which is declared as an object. After that obj dot prop1 is equal to 1, 2, 3. So which means that we are adding a property to the object obj and for that particular property the value holds is 1, 2, 3. So the name of property is prop1 and it is having value 1, 2, 3. The third statement obj dot prop2 is equal to 4, 5, 6. So here the second property that should be added to the object obj is prop2 and this prop2 is holding a string value. That string value is 4, 5, 6. Now move on to the next statement. Obj in square bracket prop3. So the name of the third property in the corresponding object obj is prop3 and the value held in prop3 is true. So this expression, this obj of prop3 is same as that of obj dot prop3 is true, is equal to true. This is another way of assigning a property name to an object. Now after that we are having a variable keys is equal to empty string, values is equal to empty string. So two variables are created, keys and values both are having null string or empty string. After that a for loop is declared for variable p in obj. For the object obj we have to specify a variable p. Keys plus is equal to p plus. Keys plus is equal to p plus, which means that inside the obj, inside the object obj, we already defined some properties. That properties will be considered as p. So for this particular object obj, the properties are prop1, prop2 and prop3. So keys will take the p, the variable p will take the data like prop1, prop2 and prop3. So keys plus is equal to p plus. So the first iteration p is having the value prop1 plus a space value. Then values plus is equal to obj of p, which means that obj of prop1. Obj of prop1 is holding the value 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 space. Then after that, in the second iteration, p is holding the value prop2, but it is appended to keys plus keys variable. So what happens is prop1 space prop2 will be in keys and in values it will become 1, 2, 3, which will be appended with 4, 5, 6. And in the third iteration, P will take prop3 as the data. So keys will become prop1, prop2 and prop3. Prop1 space, prop2 space, prop3 and values become 1, 2, 3 space, 4, 5, 6 space, true. After the iteration over for loop, alert keys. So alert keys after the for loop iteration, keys is holding the value prop1 space, prop2 space, prop3. Then alert is having the values 1, 2, 3 space, 4, 5 space, true. So this is an example that should be here. This in this particular example, the iteration of for loop over an object is demonstrated. Hope you understood. Hope you understood the different types of operators as well as the different conditional statements that are in JavaScript. Thank you.